Hello, my good friends. Welcome to another edition of Vladiview in English. And today, my great guest is, she came all the way from Budapest, and her name is Kitty.
Hello, my friends, and welcome to this thing.
She really isn't that slow. She really isn't that slow.
I just think of every word I'm saying. Yeah. The
How
cameras.
when was the last time you've used English language actually?
Like Britain, what is she doing in the
I
background?
she was trying to get away, like, really.
No, you're too majestic of a being for leaving a room without anyone noticing. Come on.
Tell us a little about yourself, Kitty. Who are
Yes.
you? What are you? Why are we here? And
Yes. Yes. Well, I am Kitty. I'm 28 years old, female, human. Non-smoking, kind of clean. Yeah, that's basically my dating advertisement. So I'm from Budapest, and I'm currently unemployed. So if you know anyone who wants to hire this, then just give me a shout. And also I'm a comedian, a semi-professional comedian. Yeah, and that's how we know each other, actually.
Yes, and also because you know my girlfriend.
Yes, also, but that's just a small part of our history.
The comedian,
Yeah.
the comedian
The
thing.
comedian,
Yes.
the comedians.
Of course.
All comedians know each other. Yeah, we have a secret handshake.
Yeah, we even talk like telepathically.
Exactly. We could have this whole conversation
Exactly
in our head. So.
But we wanted you, our dear viewers, to see and hear this amazing podcast or whatever it is. Anyway, so today we're going to talk about another Netflix show. Last time I've talked with my Russian friend about Tiger King. So this time, of course, we've picked, Kitty, tell us.
Too Hot to Handle. Too Hot to Handle. A reality show where a bunch of people go to an island and they can't have sex. What a twist. Oh my God.
And the
worst
part, they are all young and they can have sex.
Hot. Jesus. Hot, what yes, what a script it is.
so of course there's like, I think 10 to 12 people or so.
Yeah. Some of them are very forgettable, so that's why I don't know the exact number. Yeah,
that's true.
Don't get enough screen time.
So the whole show is like 8 episodes about like this melodrama between these people because they are hot, they're young, they like sex. All of them really like sex and stuff like that. And
what if one of them was asexual or something? Can you imagine?
Honestly, this is interesting, and we can get to it because I think some of them were not as sexual as they like said they are.
Ah, okay.
But honestly, my first question to you, Kitty, is how genuine do you think this show was?
Coming with the big guns. Not at all. It was very, very scripted, obviously. And it's funny that you say that because I mean, we watched this show, like I watched it right, like I binged it right after we decided that we would do this, which was I think 2 weeks ago or something. So it's like, it's a long time, especially in quarantine. You read and you watch a lot of things, so you have a lot of things in your head. And I just like watched a few videos so I can remember the names and everything. And and I just watched a few videos like behind the scenes and secrets. And Netflix is saying that that actually they genuinely didn't know that they can't have sex. Which is, come on, those reactions.
No.
Come on.
No.
I mean,
like a couple of those people, if I'm correct, are even like actors or something like that. Like this, some of them.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Jesus is an actor, and he played Jesus. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
No
Yes.
way.
Yeah,
No
yeah,
way. Damn. So yeah, a lot of them are like actors. Also, like all the cameras. Like everybody who knows something about reality shows knows that this is like the most ungenuine or not genuine thing in the world. Even like the
yeah.
cameras. If you probably had in Hungary some reality shows back in the day. We in Slovakia had
They
a
still
couple.
do. Yeah, I think it's coming back because I remember when I was like 10-ish, that Big Brother and all
Yeah.
those things
Yes.
came in, and then I don't remember much in the last, I don't know, 10 years, and now in the last couple of years again, this Love Island and Love is Blind and this. So I think it's having a second wave
Finally.
is coming.
Finally.
Yes, yes, we
Oh,
get the content we deserve. Yes.
like it must be really interesting for a younger generation because again, you know that this is not genuine. Like in Big Brother and in all those old reality TV shows, they were at least
Hmm.
trying. Like all the cameras were from up, you know, like
Yeah.
cameras in some shops or stuff like security cameras. That's the word. So it looked like more genuine, and also these reality shows used to have like really lots of episodes. It was like a soap
Yeah, it was like
opera in a way. But
exactly.
this
Yeah,
like
yeah.
8 episodes, nothing happened that big,
But
honestly.
if you think about, I think it's going in the same direction as like the whole world, because like you know that a lot of things are fake in our society,
Mm.
Instagram and all that social media. So I think that if you think, yeah, you know, like 10 years ago when this whole thing started, there was no social media, there was nothing yet, so people were having a different kind of expectation for that. And I
Yeah.
think that right now it's really much like, yeah, these people are beautiful and all of them are have, I don't know, tens of thousands of followers on Instagram. So it's like kind of, I understand why people, why they would choose them to sit there and do this, you know, like
Hmm.
they are the people who we watch anyway, and they are kind of living a reality show. Oh my god, that's so deep.
Oh God,
They're
they
living
are
their own
living.
reality show through social media. So I
That's
mean,
true.
makes sense.
I would be like interested, like how, because for my generation, though, we had a couple of these reality shows, which was,
Hmm.
and of course, when we were younger, like 15, 16, we believed it. We believed it, like, oh yes, this is happening, and
Yeah,
this we really hates. So I think like there's gotta be some like people or children who honestly,
yeah.
yes, they believe even like the whole Instagram stuff, everything that's on Instagram. These people live this, like this is real,
Hmm.
but of course it's fake,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
which makes me like wonder, like, because this reality show was the first reality show that had like a, how do you call it, it had like some sort of wisdom, like, or it tried to have like some sort of wisdom. It was
yeah,
supposed to be a
yeah,
therapy for these
yeah, yeah.
promiscuous people.
Yeah,
Which
but it's kind of, oh my god, I mean that's an interesting thing because like I kind of felt it was like, you know, like they do like, okay, so the whole thing is scripted, so there is no like actual conversation about what's message and da da da, and what, whether they actually reach their goal, and whether they actually like reach the personal, what was the word they kept saying, personal development. Yes,
oh
personal
yes,
development.
personal
Oh my
development.
god,
Oh shit.
my favorite part was when what's his name, the British guy,
Harry
um
or David?
David, yeah, David, who was like having a dream, and he was like sleep talking, and he said,
Oh
"First,
yeah.
you have to have." I'm like, yeah, that's not scripted at all. That seems so.
Like yeah, this was like scene I told like Aika, because everybody who
So
saw somebody sleep talking, it's never like
nothing like that. Yeah,
articulate and stuff. It's always something like bridge,
exactly.
7 stops of, you know, it's not articulate, and he was like personal development, and no,
And he was
it
just,
was
yeah, just so
such a bad
funny,
acting.
so
So
funny,
funny.
so funny. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, it's not genuine. So I don't even, and it felt really like slut shaming, like they were like, oh, they always want to have sex, and now they're here and they're gonna be better people. So and the whole thing is just, I didn't like that message kind of, because it was like, you are a dumb reality show, just own it, like don't try to make this grand like message, that don't try to be something different that you're not. You are just dumb, brainless entertainment, so just own it. Like, why don't you?
Like, this is not an episode of Black Mirror, even though
Exactly.
they had this cone that was talking to them, the show host or whatnot.
The Lana, which is like anal. Oh, how funny! And it looks like a butt plug. Ha ha ha!
I didn't know this. I didn't know. Oh God, it's just too good to be true. Yeah, but the message, like I can get behind this sort of message, because I can imagine like lots of younger people. Now I'm gonna talk like okay boomer person, but still, like there are lots of young there are lots of younger people who are promiscuous to the point that it's not healthy. They sleep with too many people, and they can't create like relationships after a while. They can't develop these relationships. It's a real problem. I don't think it's that big. It might be like proposed by medias and stuff like that, showed in medias, but it's a problem. But come on, guys, it's a reality show. They were in the house like for a month. Yeah, everything they talk about was basically sex. And like, if you meet somebody, like for example, there was this drama queen Francesca and Harry, like this
oh, the worst couple of the universe. Oh my God.
First couple, and they were like, oh, we're so developing, dude. You know her for a month, you both live in a different like countries, you will not end up in a relationship. There's no chance, like no chance. So why are you even talking about this? Nobody's gonna last in a relationship. And if you watched Instagrams of all those people, they're not going out with each other.
I mean, it's a condensed. I don't know how long they were in that actual villa. I don't know how long, like how many months. Like, it's a really condensed. It's 8 episodes, so it's like really to the core. Like real, like I assume they cut out a bunch of stuff, so it just feels so like. And also, you just binge watch this thing because it's just brainless entertainment. So you just, like, it's so quickly happening that they like, when that whole Rhonda and David and Sharon thing happened, and the girl was like, oh, he won't open up to me, and then they went to a talk, and now he opened up, and just like everything seems so right. I'm like, why? It seems so ridiculous.
Yeah, there's a reason why those old reality shows were like that had so many episodes, because it was more realistic that these people, like these, a relationship will dissolve or become something else in a much longer time than here. Here was it like, oh, you want to fuck my girl? I'm mad at you, bro. And he was like, okay, see, he's mad at me. What should I do? You should do something. It's
open up. And by the way, that particular couple, Rhonda and Sharon, Rhonda was all about like, oh, why don't you open up to me, and why don't you, like, you are so emotionally unavailable. And the bitch didn't tell him that she has a son. What? Like, how can you be so like, what a hypocrite? What a hypocrite, right?
Yeah, god damn it.
You don't tell him this big thing about yourself, that you have a son, but you bitch about him not, I don't know, holding your hand or whatever. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I mean, did it piss you off? I mean, this is spoilers, obviously.
Yeah,
if you want to
let's
watch
let's get rid of spoilers.
Let's go to the spoilers. Like, what did you think of when they kicked out Haley? I was so pissed, because so there was this drama queen girl who was like low key into Francesca, I think. And they just wanted, because Francesca was the big, like, everybody was against her, and they just kiss. So because the main thing is that you can kiss, can touch, or can have sex, because then they take it out from their money, because there was a money prize and they reduce the money every time they do something, right?
Actually, that is, I think that's important. It's good we said it.
That we should have said it in the beginning.
Okay, cool.
There is a money prize.
Yeah,
so the rules are. And anyway, so this girl, she didn't really care about the money or anything. So they just, like, as a revenge, they kissed the two girls, Francesca and Haley, and they and then so they would just reduce the money. And then the next day, like, Jesus is like, okay, let's ask Lana. But 10 minutes before, when they had that whole thing with Harry kissing Francesca, why didn't they ask Lana then? Like, why?
It's scripted again. It's like everything
Why?
was scripted. Like even the Haley girl. If you think about it, she was always had this attitude like, I don't care about these people. These people are like boring and they're just dumb, and I don't care about it. And it was like almost like something from a cartoon. Her personality, if you think about it, which is
She's a
amazing.
mean girl.
Yeah.
I think she was really, really entertaining, though, because I like the idea of having this. I didn't like the idea, which eventually happened, and I think that's why the show got boring from like the first 4th episode or so. Because in the beginning we had all this tension, and this is against this, and they are like stirring and they kissing, so the others would start. So it was the whole thing, and I was like, oh yeah, this is like a show with balls, And then everybody just became this goody, and everybody was on a personal development, and they went on workshops. And by the way, the workshops. Oh my God!
Which one
is
was
the
your
best
favorite?
thing. The guys.
Oh yeah.
That was so hilarious.
Like these workshops.
Oh my God!
How can, like, this was the show. As you said, I'm gonna repeat because I strongly agree that like the show was interesting when it was like full of tension and people were like wanting to like break the rules. People wanted to break the rules. That was when it was interesting. But then they become goody and all these workshops. Like this is eye-opening. Like this workshop that happened where I like hugged the person or did a bandage. How do you bondage. Hey, it's like why you had like the entertainment, and that's the thing. I think Netflix wanted to be like, this is like a reality show with a message, like with the proper message.
But I think that's what Netflix is trying to do now, because I was just thinking about it today when I was like thinking about before Too Hot to Handle was a big hit. There was Love Is Blind, which is, again, it was like a classic dating show with a twist. Like you can see each other until you want to marry each other, So they kind of try to take these old reality show formulas. I don't know if you know Love Is Blind, by the way.
No, but I'm interested.
Or should
intrigued. I'm intrigued.
Let me explain that. So it's basically, it's kind of like I think The Bachelor would be. Again, a lot of beautiful people come together. There is no ugly person ever in a crew, by the way. I don't know why. So, and the idea is Love Blind, because the girls and the boys are in separate accommodations, and then they have to date each other, but they can't see each other because they are in this like futuristic pods. Like it's kind of, so they can't see each other. There's a wall, so they can talk to each other, but they can't see each other, and then form these very deep connections, because of course they can see each other. But so I think what Netflix is trying to do now is take these really old scripted working formulas and try to do something different with it, so it's unique and so
yeah, and like they definitely hit the spot, because I think people always enjoy these shows, reality shows, and it was #1 in Slovakia for a while.
Same here. Same here. So
we are such easy people to be pleased here in Eastern Europe.
Yes, just give me hot people in bikinis.
Yeah. Oh my God. Who was your favorite person from the whole show?
So I really liked Chloe,
Mm-hmm.
the a ditzy British girl, and there is I really like Jesus, of course.
Jesus was.
And I really like the Irish girl for some reason. But I think every time she was on screen, she was like really funny and quirky. But they gave her like, I don't know, 5 minutes.
No time at all.
Total. I think she had 5 minutes in total screen time, like not more. Yeah. And I really liked Harry at the beginning, but then he had that whole thing where he kissed Francesca, and then he said Francesca kissed him. And it's just like, what are you doing?
Like small children, just like, no, she kissed me, not. No, he kissed me. No, I didn't. Oh, God damn it.
No.
My favorite, for some reason, was David.
The nice guy.
Yeah, I found myself in him. I think.
Yeah.
No,
he was a nice guy. Yeah.
He looked chill. The thing, actually, when you were speaking about the Irish girl and Jesus, for example, these two for me were not into any sex stuff. Like, let's say, for example, if the whole like flirting was at least at some parts like genuine, like they left for this cast of people, like, okay, if you find somebody attractive, just go for it. I would say this one aspect of the show might have been like a bit genuine. Like they didn't like tell him, okay, you with her, maybe. I might be an idealist, but maybe it was like that. So I
don't know. Yeah.
I'm not sure, but maybe like this part maybe was a bit genuine. Like they definitely like told them like, okay, now go for that girl. After a while, but at the beginning, maybe there was like proper chemistry between those people. But I think like
I think you're right. Yeah, I think you might be right. Yeah.
And after a while, I think some of the people, like for example Jesus, I think he definitely like gets some like in the outer world. Like he definitely gets.
Yeah, he definitely. I mean, come on. And also, I mean, he was my favorite. Like his intro was the best. He came in like a beanie. Like everybody was in bikinis and shorts. He came in with like this Buddha, like big beanie and t-shirt and this big like hippie. It was so funny. And then he was like, "Oh, I'm a deep thinker. I think about things a lot."
Oh my God, there was not a word that was deep in this show. Not a word, like no. not one sentence.
No.
They were trying.
Yeah. Let me ask you something that was bothering me, and I'm curious what you think about it.
Okay.
So I think I'm really conflicted on Chloe because I think she was really, really charming and really ditzy and quirky. And I have two things that I want to ask you about. One is that I think the narrator was like really mean to her because she always said that, oh, she's so dumb, but everybody else is dumb in this show. Like, why is she the dumb one?
I
don't know. She owns it, you know?
Like, honestly, I think this is like a way they put some like basic traits to all those cast, because for example you had like the Celts, Kellish, or what's his real name? He was accountant, you know. Jesus was Jesus. Chloe was dumb, and Francesca was like the hottest.
The queen bee.
Then there was this guy who only thing you know about him was that he lives on a boat. That was his trait.
Oh, that was so funny. That guy was so hilarious. Oh my God, he was the pianist, and when he played the piano, and everybody was like,
he was actually, I think, genuinely one person that wasn't like objectively hot, I think.
Yeah, I was wondering why, like, he had a boat and he could play shitty piano. Like, why is he here, like,
I think
because
he's
yeah. Sorry, just
I
finish
think
your
he's a
thought.
Protestant. I just want to say that. I think he's a
Oh, you wanted to
producer or
comment?
something like that.
Mm,
So maybe
mm,
something like
might be, because that's another thing. Like, if you wanted to put least attract, like, not because all of them are extremely hot who came in at the first time, right? And then the people who came in later, who were supposed to be the grenades, like the
yeah.
people who stir up everything, they were like just objectively speaking least attractive than the people who were already in the.
Mm-hmm.
So if your whole idea is to put these like bombs in there, why don't you just pick an 11? You know what I mean? Like, just put in the hottest piece of ass you can.
Yeah. No, it actually this grenades as you called it, which is really
Yeah,
nice. They just
they called they called him that. Yeah,
it
definitely.
just went flat. Like it didn't do anything. Like there was this one guy who stirred up things between Harry and Francesca, but that's it. Like
But who
all
gave a shit at that point about Harry and Francesca?
exactly. But back to Chloe. So I think they called her dumb. My
Mm-hmm.
theory is that like she was, she had like this,
Mm-hmm.
hello. Yeah, and
Yeah,
some
yeah.
people attribute this sort of behavior to like
Mm-hmm.
dumbness. Like dumb people act like this, which might be like true, but I don't think she was dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Not at all.
No, I don't think she was. And then, as much as I liked her as a character, because I think she was just like really energetic, and that's
Mhm.
why I think she was like really fun to watch.
Yeah.
Uh, the other thing that I was like kind of like, why is this happening, was when everybody was so shitty to Francesca and Harry, because they were the ones who always made the problems, the people who had sex and they touched and gave blah, blah, blah. So they were responsible for the biggest amount of money deducted, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, we had Chloe, but they were already a couple and they put them in difficult positions, like situations. They had
Hmm.
their own suit where they could spend the night and da da da. So they had all these temptations. And then there was Chloe, who was kind of like, she didn't really have anyone to, like, latch onto. So she just
Yeah.
jumped from one guy to another, and she was like really irresponsible, saying, "Oh, I'm just gonna kiss and see."
Yeah.
So she was like, I think if you look at them, of course they had bigger, like Francesca and Harry were responsible for more money loss.
Yeah.
But Chloe was more irresponsible. She was just like, "Oh, I'm just gonna kiss him, and I'm just gonna kiss him
Yeah.
and see."
Yeah.
And
She
so
always she always tried a guy, and then she got like maybe bored of him, so she
yeah,
tried another
every
guy.
time.
Because
Yeah.
she again, it's a person that usually like has like one night stands probably,
Mm-hmm.
and she was like, I'm searching for the like connection. You can't
Yeah.
find connection there. There's no way you can find. And I think
Yeah.
that's the thing about all those people you could see. And again, this might be a bit genuine, but I think I saw like these people who usually like depend on their body and their sex moves. Like they're very
Mm-hmm.
sexual. They if
Yeah.
they want to get like a girl or a guy, they just come there and they're like, "Hello, my body, mwah, come have sex with me." Because that
Mm-hmm.
probably is how their sex life can work. But
Mm-hmm.
now they were in a situation where they couldn't use this sort of like tactics, body tactics, let's call them. So they had to like flirt just with words and try to talk with those people. And that's the reason,
Mm-hmm.
for example, why Jesus probably didn't click with anybody. My theory. Because he was maybe used to just every time just come there and be like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
look at my bun
Yeah.
and,
Oh
and
my God.
because when he
Yeah.
talked to that girl, to that one girl,
That
it
was so
was,
bad.
oh yeah,
That was
there's,
so cringy. Oh my God. And actually, I would love to, again, I think that, for example, why there were so many people who just didn't have enough screen time, and I actually was more interested in them
mm-hmm,
at a certain point. Like the Irish girl was Nicole, I think,
mm-hmm.
and there
Oh
was
yeah,
the girl who Madison, who came in later, that blonde girl. She seemed like, I don't know why they gave her 2 minutes. Why do you put her in that show?
yeah,
We would be at the
exactly.
same, yeah, like,
Nothing. I don't remember a
what?
thing about this girl. And
Yeah,
honestly,
she flirted. Jesus at some point.
Flirted with Jesus. No,
Yeah.
it was so sad because like again they had like these couples. You watched them like Rhonda and Sharon, Harry and Francesca and Chloe and their endeavors. This was
And
the
everybody
only
else.
and everybody else.
Everybody else. All the guys.
And usually in these reality shows, because it's scripted, there's always like now these episodes are made for this couple or for this person. Then next episodes are more focused on different couple or different people. And this didn't happen in this episode. It was really like unbalanced.
It was really, really unbalanced. And also, I just read this before we started talking that Harry was actually on some other reality show already in Australia, Heartbreak Island or something, and he won. He won. He won $100,000. Yes. So
like he's definitely that type of person. That's the type of person that really enjoys this sort of like reality show drama and fakery and stuff like that.
Yeah. And he also, I think now he has his own clothing line, the Naughty Possum, which he said on the show, which is, I think it's funny. It's a funny name. Naughty Possum.
It is. It's, like it's interesting. Like definitely for the people who joined this whole show, it gave them more followers and stuff like that. So I don't think they
for sure
mind about the money, honestly, because it's not that much money if you think about it. Even when you like it's a lot. I would love to get that money, but if you think about it, there's like 10 people at the beginning, I think 10 or 10ish, and they have like $100,000. And if you like split it, because I wasn't sure for first part of the show, like how will they like receive the prize or who's gonna win or how he's gonna. And so they split it.
I was thinking,
And if you think about,
it's not a lot of money then, but weren't they supposed to? Because I got the impression when they were eventually everybody won and they split it that they thought that one person would win it or a couple would win it. So I mean, if that's in your head that I might win $100,000 by myself.
Oh yeah, that's true. Okay, that's true. No, but it was really like shady. That it wasn't like okay, this person wins at the beginning of the show, which actually was probably pretty interesting as the things go for reality shows. Anyway, if you don't mind, my last question for you is: would you recommend this show to anyone?
Yeah, I think it's fun. It's at least the first half is far more entertaining, and then it gets a bit dull. Don't expect big life lessons. Just if you want to turn off your mind and watch something dumb, then it's perfect.
It brought up for me like sort of nostalgia, like back in the day when you were just following this person on TV and being like happy for him or hate him, or the sort of program. This is the sort of program where when you shout at people in the show like "Don't do it" or something like that.
Don't fuck him.
And it's pretty refreshing for me, like to enjoy this sort of mindless programming.
Yeah, I think it was I think it was fun. So I mean, if you like watching Breaking Bad and just like or these types of, I mean, I enjoyed that. I also enjoyed, but if that's your aim in a show, watch to like have character development and a good plot and amazing music, and then you're not gonna be satisfied with this one. But if you are like, I don't know, if you want to turn off your mind and don't think about Corona and just, I don't know,
it's perfect.
Sit there and aimless
so
entertainment.
Okay, so I think we've talked about this wonderful show enough.
In that, I have one more question for you. Sorry.
Okay. Yes.
Do you think that the narrator was like uncomfortably sexual when when they narrated, the girl, the woman who was narrating the whole show, when they came in and she was like, "Wowza, I would." So like, just, oh.
I didn't believe her for a second. It was the sort of
Yeah.
like person that sex talks you for money, but during the phone, like, yes, I'm just, oh wowza, oh my god, it's so big, yeah. No, I didn't
Seems
believe
like
her.
you had that job. Seems like you
No,
had that job.
you never heard me. You never heard me. Somebody's gonna just watch this, like, oh my god, that's just
I
me.
know that voice. I know that voice somewhere.
Oh god, hope not. But yeah, anyway, yeah, I didn't believe her, but she was fun. I must say, actually, the host and also the Lana, the cone, they were pretty
Alexa.
fun. Alexa, they were pretty funny, I would say. Like the
Yeah.
commentary was pretty nice. It was decent, at least. As a
Yeah.
comedian, I can tell, like, okay, this was somebody.
I am licensed to tell as a comedian that it was actually okay.
This was actually, I can tell. I'm a comedian.
Yeah, believe me.
Anyway, thank you very much, Kitty,
Thank
for
you very
this
much
talk,
for
and
inviting me. The opportunity.
hopefully we see each other again at some
Yes.
wonderful show. I hope so. And thank you for watching. Definitely give some love to Kitty. There's gonna be some links
Yes.
underneath her picture. Give her some likes, and when we can again do some shows, come and watch us. If you live in Budapest or in Bratislava or whenever, I can actually, Kitty. I can't wait for shows. How are you feeling?
Yes.
You miss it?
I mean, yeah, I miss it. I miss
enough
it.
enough said.
Weird.
Please give us some love, give us some subscribe, some likes, share us, comment, tell us what you think about this show. Tell us if you've watched it after this, if you enjoyed, if our recommendation was good or not. Tell us anything. I would like to hear from you. And yeah, let's say hi
Yeah.
to these wonderful folks. Bye bye. Thank you,
Bye.
Kitty. Bye
Thank
bye.
you.
And
See you,
Aika.
Aika.
Oh, I'm gonna zoom in on that.